Hey everyone, this is Brano, and today I wanted to talk about something that I think is really important that you know for your own sake, which is how much money do you need to make for your games to be considered financial successes? Whenever you see a developer post a post-mortem, you'll always get these comments which is saying, hey, you should be really happy about the fact that you even made a game. That's a success in itself. And it's like, all right, yeah, but I kind of want to do this as a full-time job. But, people, I think enthusiasm towards game dev and not giving up is a much bigger concern to most people than it is to me. So I really wanted just to talk about, instead of me releasing a game and it being a success because I released a game, I wanted to talk about what does it need. What is the financial success? How many copies do I need to sell of Heal to Death in order for it to be a financial success? And I'm going to do this with 3 different tiers. And I'm going to do the math, like, on this screen. And I'm going to be doing this with 3 different tiers. So let's get this up and swap how we're going to do this. All right, so we've got tier 1. And this is going to be my cost of living. So I am a minimalist. I am just a natural born minimalist. I do not need that much to keep me happy. I live cheaper than anyone else. I need 30K a year to keep up my current lifestyle. Now, tier 2. This is going to be the Australian minimum wage. And what is the Australian minimum wage? It is $47,627 per year. But this isn't including a mandatory retirement package. So in Australia, we have something called superannuation, and that's like on top of your salary. So if somebody says they earn 100K, realistically they earn 111K. And the superannuation at the moment is 11.5. So we're just going to take this rate, which is 47,627 times 1.115, and that gives us 53,000 and $53,101. Now, what about the average full-time rate, which I would say is a good income? So it's average, not medium, and this is 100. I'm just going to round this up to 100,000. And once again, this is before superannuation. So this means you're probably, so the average typically means that of full-time workers, you're in the top 20%. I understand it's average, but to be stuck in the middle, you have to be the median. To be average, you got to be in the top, like just in the top 20%. So I believe this is top 20% now. So I would consider this to be financial success tier. So got 3, and I'm just going to round it up to 100,000, which means to be considered a financial, like a real financial success. So it would basically be this much dollars. So this is what you would consider to be as a, 11,000. I believe this is the correct superannuation. Let's just see, 100,000 times 1.115. Yep, cool, got it. All right, so this is basically how much everything is. Now, the only thing I would say is that these are my expenses, but these are my expenses pre-tax. And if I go into this, you can kind of see that I would need to spend this much amount. So I believe it's 32,700, which gives me pretty close to it. Let's do 33,000. All right, that's close enough. So realistically, I actually need 33,000 because my expenses don't include any tax, but I have to earn income in order to pay for my living expenses. So realistically, this should be 33,000. So we've got our 3 tiers of financial success. Now, my development cycle for Healed to Death is 20 months. So that's 1 year and 2/3. So I basically have to increase this by 66%. Like, it's kind of one of those infinity numbers. I'm just going to round it up by 67. So 33,000 times 1.67 equals 50. I'm just going to say 55,000. So 55,000. And we're not going to increase the income tax for the simple reason that, well, I'm just assuming it's going to be evenly distributed throughout the year. So this would be 50. So we've got $53,104 times 1.67, 88,000, and I'm just going to be rounding it as well. So there we go. And this 111,500 times 1.67, that is a pretty big number. 186,000. So these are the numbers that I need to hit certain milestones. So if I get 55,000 from Healed to Death, before income taxes, I have made back my cost of living, basically. If I make 88 grand, I've hit minimum wage. And if I hit 186 grand from Healed to Death, I am now in like the top 20%. I have hit the average full-time Australian wage, which is pretty awesome. So what is kind of like the math here? All right, so I'm going to sell Healed to Death will cost $20 USD, which, but I live in Australia, so I really only care about Australian dollars. So with the current exchange rate, it's going to shift at the moment. Currently, it's being times by like, so $1 American is worth 1.6 Australian dollars, but this could easily change to 1.5. I'm just going to go with 1.5 for easy cases. So I'm just going to say $30 Australian. So AUD. So I'm going to get $30 Australian per direct copy. But there's a couple of things that we need to deduct here. So, number one is regional pricing. I don't know what it realistically is going to be. The Steam revenue calculator suggests, the Boxlighter method suggests like 9%. So, we already have to deduct 9% off it. So, 30 times 0.91, 27 point. So let's do regional pricing. Pricing cut equals $23, well, $27.30. The next thing we have to do is Steam's cut, which is 30%. So this times 0.7, $19 and $11. All right, cool. Now we have the money. So Steam cut equals $19.11. So after that's done, we finally get the money. But we also got VAT. Now, this is going to differ based on the country. I'm just going to put in 10%. Because I'm Australian and that's what GST is here. So we're going to deduct this by another 10% here. So $19. So So I don't know if it's like pre. I'm just gonna. I forget if GST is before Steam takes their cut or after they take their cut, but maybe it's before, and that's really fucking shit. But oh well. I'll just say it's $19.11 times 0.9. All right, GST $17.19. I'm just gonna do 20 cents just to round it up. Okay, so we finally have our money. Now I am taking a 64% split with Heal to Death shared between my artist. Do I have a great deal? Well, I would be screwed without my artist. Maybe I could have gotten a higher percentage, but it's what I get. So, 17.2 times 0.64. This is my share of the lot. All right, I'm getting $11. So, pre-split equals $11. I'm getting $11 per game that sells. So basically, for every so we're just seeing that's a big cut. So now that we've got $11, we can see how many games do I need to sell at full price to be able to make my bare living expenses. Keep in mind, I am a minimalist. I do not spend a lot of money. I'm the cheapest person I know by a lot. So we're gonna do 55,000 divided by 11. I need to sell 5,000 copies exactly in order to break even. So to break even equals 5,000 copies. I did not prepare for this number to be this clean, but I'm sure it won't be in the future. All right, next one for tier 2, which is minimum wage. Minimum wage equal. All right, let's do this. So 88,683 divided by 11. So let's just do 8,062. So I have to sell 8,062 copies in order to achieve minimum wage in Australia. With like including the superannuation stuff. I'm not excluding it, that is real income. All right, now we've got average wage. Average full-time wage, which I would consider a massive financial success for me. So that's $186,205 divided by 11. This needs 16,927 copies. I'm just going to be rounding down, but you can kind of see right here that I need to sell a lot. And at the moment, the box lighter method assumes that it's like 20 reviews per, it's like, so if you get one review, it assumes that you've sold 20 copies. That may be a bit high, or it may be a bit low, I don't know. It really differs based on the product that gets sold. So for like 5,000 copies, well, we can already do the math. That's like 2,000. Well, that's like 200, right? No. 200 times... Oh, let's just do that. So 5,000 divided by 20. All right, so this thinks it's like 250 at $20. So it thinks that I'm going to get less. Now, I think that I'm going to get a bit more here, but yeah, you can kind of just... You can kind of see that things are... So that's in US dollars and stuff, but yeah, you can kind of see like it is going to be tough in order to do game dev as a full-time job. At the moment, I don't even have 10% of this in wish lists. So I'm praying for a miracle, but don't quit your job. Make sure that you do game dev as a hobby and you work out how to make time for it with your lifestyle. Because I am a minimalist. I need 5,000 copies to break even given the time I have spent making this game. Now, if I quit my job and I made Heal to Death full-time, I would be a lot quicker, but we're just going to assume that I am as productive while making the game full-time. For minimum wage, I have to get 8,062 copies sold. And full-time wage, 16,927. So look at the people who are getting like 50 views and stuff. Look at the games. Look at the quality of the games of people who got 50 views. Well, no, 50 reviews. And really ask the question in like the price range that you intend. And really just ask the question, do I have a game that is likely to succeed? I am not against people following their dream, but I am against people believing that if they just work hard, they're gonna make it, because it is art. Hard work is the ticket to participation. If you don't work hard, you're not participating in this at all. You don't even get to participate in the lottery. But if you do work hard, you get to participate, and you need to have a really pragmatic, like a really realistic idea of what you need to do in order to achieve. Do I think that Heal to Death is going to succeed? I don't know. I think the game is worthy of succession. Like, well, it's worthy of succeeding, but that doesn't necessarily mean that other people think the same way. So this is basically how I've mapped it out. I need to sell 5,000 copies in order to break even. And realistically, I'd probably have to sell around 15,000 copies before, at full price. Keep in mind, I'm not including discounts or refunds. I need to sell 15,000 copies before I'd even consider, like, quitting my job, because it's really, really hard to make money from game dev. And hopefully you can use the methodology that I used to come up with your own conclusions on what you need to do in order to go full-time. Keep in mind, like, just keep this in mind, because it's a lot tougher when you put it into math. When you do the math, you realize, oh my god, we need to make a hit, or we don't succeed at all. Anyway, that's it from me. Have a good one. Bye.